time recording this because I decided to add a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be added. Oh boy. So this is actually a almost user-friendly auto drawer. I don't know how to describe it. So let me just show you. Okay, so first things first, this is the turtle. If I ever post this on my YouTube channel, that's why I'm explaining this, because I might put it on YouTube because I think it'd be fun. But anyways, you run it, bam, auto image generated. You're probably like, whoa, that's so cool. I mean, for this coding language, which is literally just moving a turtle with a pen on its butt, yeah. I mean, it is pretty cool, really. I like it. Essentially, though, if you want to add something to this, you just hit enter, and then just type what you want it to draw. Granted, it can only draw 3 things: seaweed, shift, input brackets, and end. Seaweeds, fish, and starfishes. That's it. Oh, I called it starfish and not draw starfish. These are now all incorrect, and it's not defined. Goodness. Okay. The general preference, or the general idea of this, though, is this is your canvas. From this point down to this point, you have your canvas. Whatever you want on top of the other thing, like if you want a fish on top of pretty much everything, actually, let's move these fish below all the seaweed. Just to give an example, okay? These fish, there's going to be... I don't explain what's going on very well. Essentially, each line of code is a new layer. When I say canvas, I'm not even looking at the camera, whoops. When I say canvas, I mean that area of the code. So if you went into the source code and you started editing it, and you wanted to add a lot of starfish, you'd have to go to the starfish layer and just hit enter. And for every line of code, that's the next layer. There are several layers and everything gets layered on top of each other. That's how that works. 4 fish, and they're all going to be under the seaweed. And there's going to be 5 strings of seaweed. The starfish have to be put on top just because of how the program does stuff. Just because of how the program renders. There we go, and it's automatically done. Now you can slow down this little knob down here to watch it do its thing. I just don't like doing that when I'm trying to record this because it takes a while. Like look at this. Look at how long it's taking. It is quite entertaining though. I will say that. It's weird. We don't get too thick lines most times. Usually it's pretty thin lines. Yeah, but then it starts drawing the starfish. So essentially though, if you want to edit something, you just, like, let's say we want this fish. Okay, we want this last fish here. We don't know anything about this fish, but we want it to be between some seaweed layers. Okay, we want it to be between the seaweed. So when it draws, if a seaweed draws, it'll either draw just above or just below, depending on how many seaweeds we have. And looky there. That didn't do it. I can't tell which one of these fish is supposed to be. We might have to run a few times. But yeah, if you don't like one of the images, you reset it, bam, new fishes. Look. If you like one in particular, well, I'm sorry, but you don't like the color of one fish, I'm sorry, you can't just fix that. But anyways, yeah. It randomizes everything from the shade of the blue, which cannot be seen on camera, sadly, to the color of the fish. It also randomizes the position of the fish, the position of the starfish, and the position of the seaweed. Now, I have it set so it, like, right about here is the threshold for the starfish. It pretty much won't render them up above here. The fish, it can pretty much render them throughout this entire thing. I think there's like a box right here that won't do it. It may be a bit higher, actually. The seaweed will never be just floating weirdly. They always will have the same size because I couldn't figure out how to randomize height very well. So when it comes to drawing fish, you have the ability to change the size. You don't want to do that either. But let me just first show you why you don't want to draw starfish. Because everything above it will be put in a wrong order, as you can see. This poor fish and its tail. Oh, no. Yeah, everything gets screwed up. Orders of everything get messed up. Do not draw starfish under a seaweed or fish layer. Always have it above. See? Starfish have to go on last. Now, let's see what happens if we turn this from 20 to 30 because it's funny. Run. Look at them. They get super bulky and it's like, doesn't even look like a fish anymore. So yeah, let's see what happens if I turn it to like 10. There we go. And you don't want to turn it too low below 20 because then the fish doesn't have a body. It's just died. So yeah, there's my program. I really wanted to show off that you can edit it and it is randomized. Like, it's not just, oh, I made an image using code. It's cool. It's like, oh, it has a little bit of functionality.